This morning, all right, we begin with the Daily Nation. It's all about abduction victims. Harrowing ordeals on the front cover of today's publication of the Daily Nation. And of course, looking at the flagger on top there, enforced disappearances, human rights groups say some people are still missing. And you can see a very gory picture there on the front cover of the Daily Nation, which should be up momentarily for you. And this is human rights defender Davis Lichuma recuperating at Nairobi Women's Hospital in Hurlingham yesterday. He went missing during the June 25th protest and was found sickly along Ngong Road on Sunday night. And it says, torture chambers, the frail, trembling man lay in cold on Sunday night along Ngong Road, from where some border riders wheeled him into the emergency wing of Kenyatta National Hospital. The sickly man was Davis Lichuma, an activist who had gone missing following his arrest during the last Thursday's demonstrations. Apparently, his captors had dumped him by the roadside, just like had been done to his 6 other colleagues who have recounted their horror ordeals at the hands of armed men in secret location many believe is deep inside a forest. And you have the full story there on page 2 and 3. They've raised concerns and, well, everyone thought this thing has tapered off. Yeah. Now it's really rearing up its ugly head again. It really flies in the face of, you know, the good gesture also that was coming from the government to the compensation monies as well, Annie. So when we look at this, I think it gives us, you know, some heebie-jeebies. Yeah.
Takes us back to the dark times where at least we thought we've come out from. But again, now it begs the question, are abductions back?
Yeah, well, they say the Subaru boys are back. Many of them were seen when, if you just hear them recounting this story, dumped along Ngong Forest. Some of them could find themselves near Talanta Stadium. I mean, that's a story that we do not want to hear, even as we're heading towards, you know, the 2027 general election. This is the front page of the Daily Nation. Wamunyoro delegation push for Uhuru Gachagua deal. The 45-day retreat by Democracy for the Citizens Party leader Rigathi Gachagua has revived calls for a truce with former President Uhuru Kenyatta, with leaders visiting the former DP at his Wamunyoro residence, urging him to reconcile with Mr. Kenyatta. This has been in the pipeline. That story is on page 7. Hospital operation hit as Shah owes counties 27 billion shillings. And the list of the hospitals affected also are here on the front page of the Daily Nation this morning. On the back page, everyone has been following, of course, the World Cup. Golden Oldies stealing the show at the FIFA World Cup. And veterans led by record 8-time Ballon d'Or winner Messi and Ronaldo are stealing the show. And you can see their faces on the back page of the Daily Nation this morning. And yes, you've been keeping tabs of the World Cup?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. Japan and Brazil. Man, that was a very intense show, right? And the discipline Samurais.
I'm actually impressed that you're watching the World Cup.
I don't look like a Jama watcher. So
well,
what are you trying to insinuate?
You said that you don't watch. I
told you, no. I said I reserve it for the World Cup.
Oh.
Yeah. So I wait for all this building ups of the tournaments to the World Cup, right? And I'm a very good football player, by the way. I used to. Yeah. There's another story why I really changed on the World Cup. Let's keep on. That's the Daily Nation. Keep it up.
That story on the side. Now, at least 3 newspapers are agreeing on the same headline.
Indeed, yes.
Taifa Leo, nusura watuue. Mateka wa Kenya 7 waliotekwa nyara hivi majuzi wasema walifanyiwa madhila makuu kiasi cha baadhi yao kushindwa kuzungumza baada ya kuachiliwa wikendi. Hiyo picha ya Lichuma iko hapo mbele katika ukurasa mbele wa gazeti la Taifa Leo. Freddy Ojiro pia yuko hapo, Elisha Alam, Mulinge Muteti na vile Michael Mwarengo yuko hapo mbele. Baadhi ya Wakenya waliotekwa nyara wiki jana wasimulia mateso makali waliopitia mikononi mwa watesi wao. Vidokezo zaidi, ujenzi wa baadhi ya nyumba za bei nafuu wakwama, maandamano leo Afrika Kusini dhidi ya wahamiaji, raia wa kigeni wahangaika kuondoka Afrika Kusini kabla ya makataa ya leo. Hii ni habari katika ukurasa wa 8, very interesting story there. Koti yasitisha tena ujenzi wa ikulu kule Imenti. On the top strip, uteuzi ujao unavyotishia vyama vikuu ni vyama vya ODM, Wiper na Ford Kenya, miongoni mwa vilivyo hatarini kuvurugwa. Taifa Leo.
All right, we have a Standard up next, and this is what you're working up to on the front page of a Standard. Mr. President, why? That is the abiding question on the front page of the Standard this morning. Dark days, it says. 2 days ago, Mathare Bears activist Davis Lichuma was found barely alive after he was reportedly arrested during the June 25th Gen Z commemoration held in Comunicado, tortured and damned in critical condition at Kenyatta National Hospital. 3 others reportedly arrested by police on the same day are yet to be found. These alleged atrocities targeting government critics despite President William Ruto's pledge to end abductions as spine-chilling. Yet, despite the resurgence of such incidents, the president has remained silent, raising troubling questions about his administration's commitment to protecting the rights of all Kenyans. Mr. President, the buck stops with you. The alleged torture, unenforced disappearances of Kenyans by those entrusted with enforcing the law will inevitably shape your legacy. You have a story on page 4, 6, and 7 of the Standard today. We don't need to belabor the point right now. Right on the back page of the Standard, oh, what a painful exit for South Africa. That is a splash there on the back page of this Standard. Canada reached World Cup last 16 as Let's Strike sings South Africa. Bafana's World Cup adventure comes to an end after 1 win loss. And you can see, yeah, the broken-hearted there, whippy-teary moments there for South Africa. And also the figures, Canada in numbers, are also tabulated there for you. Okay, we are disappointed. This is Hugo Bruce saying, we wanted to win, but it will have really been a little miracle if we should have been in the 3rd round.
All right. Let's take a look at the Star now. Today being a Tuesday, the Star is not for sale and we don't have a physical copy, but 1 million women receive business grants. That's the main story in the front page of the Star this morning. Government working with banks to facilitate their access to credit. We can see a photo of President William Ruto here with Ma residents. They say that President William Ruto and Ushanga Kenya Initiative National Coordinator with the women displaying their beadworks during the Ma Cultural Festival in Kajiado County. Dubai tops county's travel destination as spending hits 13 billion shillings. Is another story on page 6. Do or die in Ol Kalou as Ruto unleashes full campaign arsenal is another story captured on page 2. On the top strip of the Star newspaper this morning, Reverend shows faith of a family open door to Gen Z in grief. That's a story of hope on page 13. And House Help releases 1.3 million shillings claim for abandoning job. That's the Star, fresh, independent, and different. Grab a copy today. The Star is not for sale.
All right, fomenting crisis there. We have the People Daily. Kenya's retirees time bomb. That is a tinderbox waiting to explode as it's being splashed by the People Daily this morning. Longer lives should be a nation's or a national success story, but the country faces a growing retirement disaster, with experts warning that up to 80% of workers risks old age poverty as pension deductions go unremitted, savings remain low, and welfare support falls short. It's a niggling worry, because statutory deductions, most also companies are not remitting them because there's no cash flow, especially when you look at the public institutions. This is a story that you want to read in the People Daily this morning. The return of also Sky Politics choppers over rural Kenya. We're back and time is ticking. Now that IBC has made it official that, yes, we are watching the calendar and all those plans of IBC, the voter registration, sensitization, you know, election offences also, sensitization, all these activities are now notching up on a high octane level to make sure that also the country is psychologically prepared for the election.
Right. All right, I have the Business Daily. UN agency opens audit after 1.5 billion shillings theft in Kenya project. IFAD refers matter to Audit and Oversight Office. The EACC probe implicates senior Treasury officials in the scandal. And this is the main story. It has been captured extensively on page 2. Medical loans now fastest growing for SACCOs. Another story on page 2 as well. And that's the Business Daily. Let's cross over our borders now. I've seen the Daily Nation is reporting that Daily Monitor is off, but I've seen we have the Daily Monitor this morning.
Excuse me.
So we'll start in Tanzania. Daily Monitor. Criminal underbelly of city motorbike gangs. They say that detectives say in only 3 months, running from April to June, more than 1 billion shillings has been reportedly stolen by thugs moving on motorcycles in 4 major cases. That story is on page 4. And over 9,900 police and immigration officers finished training. That's news making headlines in Uganda. And you have the New Vision?
The New Vision here. Let me try and bring it up.
I think
it's not actually.
We only have the Daily Monitor.
Yes.
So let's
But
go
we have
over
money.
to Tanzania. You can.
Yes, we have Tanzania, the Citizen, the fair puzzle after oil falls. That is a splash on the front page of the Citizen. And you can see also it says that commuters and long-distance travelers hoping for a reduction in transport fares following a decline in global fuel prices may have to wait longer. As regulators and operators say, fuel costs are not the only factor behind previous fare increases. So also sulfur crisis puts 1.2 trillion shillings cashew industry at risk, and why data privacy matters for economic growth also is an area that is of concern in Tanzania. CRDB unveils digital livestock insurance cover for farmers.
All right, still in Tanzania, gazeti la Mwananchi, maeneo nyeti chini ya ulinzi na polisi watanda. Anasema kwamba ulinzi waimarishwa kwenye miundombinu miradi muhimu kule Dar, viwanja vya Sabasaba ulinzi maradufu, kulingana na kamanda Muliru. Katambi yakaliwa kooni, LHRC kumburiza kotini. Hiyo ni habari katika ukurasa wa pili wa gazeti la Mwananchi. These are the news-making headlines regionally in Uganda and, of course, Tanzania. Let's come back now and take a look at the caricatures this morning.